Have you ever felt stuck in the endless cycle of anxiety and expectations? Thoughts like, what if, or it should have been this way, pulling you further away from balance and the true meaning of life. But what if you could stop struggling, stop forcing things, and start letting go? In this video, we'll explore a completely new approach inspired by Stoicism, releasing excessive control, acting from a calm and centered inner state, and allowing life to flow naturally. But that's not all. We're also sharing 12 profound lessons from the Stoic philosophers. These timeless teachings will help you face challenges, ease your worries, and live a freer, more meaningful life. These aren't just ancient ideas. They're powerful tools to transform the way you live every single day. Are you ready to break free, rediscover peace, and start living with purpose? Let's dive in. If you're ready to live with more peace and purpose, hit subscribe and join us on this Stoic journey. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Let's grow together. Lesson 1. Let go of control and learn to accept. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching the waves rise and fall with relentless energy. No matter how much you wish to calm the waters, the tide remains beyond your control. This moment reveals a profound truth, one the Stoics knew well. True freedom comes not from controlling the waves, but from mastering your response to them. In the chaos of modern life, we often act as if we must control everything: our work, relationships, and even the opinions of others. We obsess over outcomes, worrying about things far beyond our reach. Yet, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This simple yet profound idea reshapes how we view the world. Control is an illusion when directed outward, but a powerful truth when directed inward. At the heart of Stoicism lies a liberating distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words remind us that while we cannot dictate external circumstances, we have full authority over our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Consider how much time and energy we spend fretting over traffic, the stock market, or the opinions of others. These are all forces outside our control, and clinging to them only invites frustration. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to focus inward, redirecting our energy to what truly matters: our response. This shift in perspective doesn't mean giving up. It means embracing what the Stoics call the wisdom of acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. It is the courage to face life as it is. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Life's challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities to refine our character. Imagine losing a promotion at work. Instead of spiraling into resentment, the Stoic approach would guide you to pause and ask, "What can I control in this moment?" You may not change the decision, but you can decide how to respond, learning from the experience, strengthening your skills, and preparing for future opportunities. Acceptance transforms challenges into stepping stones for growth. At its core, letting go is an act of liberation. When we stop clinging to outcomes, we free ourselves from the weight of anxiety and disappointment. Epictetus likened life to a banquet. When the food is passed to you, reach out your hand and take it politely. If it passes you by, do not hold it back. It will come again in time. His metaphor captures the essence of detachment. Engage fully with life, but do not let its ups and downs define your peace. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply, but act from a place of calm and clarity rather than fear or desperation. So, how can we practice letting go? First, reflect on what you can control. Begin each day by listing your concerns and dividing them into two categories: what you can influence and what you cannot. Commit to acting decisively on the first and releasing the second. Second, pause and reframe when faced with stress or disappointment. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, focus on adapting your attitude. Third, cultivate gratitude. By appreciating what you have, you shift your focus from lack to abundance, reducing anxiety about the future. Lastly, embrace the Stoic practice of negative visualization. Mentally rehearse the worst-case scenario to prepare yourself and realize that even the direst outcomes are survivable. Letting go is not a one-time decision. It's a lifelong journey of aligning your mind with life's natural flow. Each time you release your grip on the uncontrollable, you reclaim a piece of your peace. Imagine the serenity of navigating life's challenges with the grace of someone who knows that while they cannot still the storm, they can steer their own ship. As you stand at the edge of your own ocean, what would your life look like if you could let go of the need to control the uncontrollable? How much lighter would your burdens feel, and what possibilities might emerge from the peace you create within yourself? The journey begins now. Are you ready to take the first step? Lesson 2. The power of a calm mind. Imagine standing beside a still lake, its surface perfectly smooth, reflecting everything around it with absolute clarity. The sky, the trees, even the faintest whisper of wind. But the moment a pebble drops, the water ripples, distorting the reflection. Our minds are just like that lake. When calm, they see the world clearly, but when disturbed by stress, worry, or anger, clarity vanishes, leaving chaos in its place. The Stoics, masters of resilience and wisdom, understood the profound power of a calm mind. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength is not passivity or detachment, but an active control of one's emotions, enabling clear thinking and wise action, even amidst turmoil. An unsettled mind exacts a heavy cost. How often have you let anger or anxiety cloud your judgment? A heated argument, a difficult day at work, or even an offhand comment can send your thoughts spiraling. Like a lake whipped by a storm, a chaotic mind cannot reflect reality clearly. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, if you want to improve, stop worrying about things beyond your control and focus on training your mind. Only through a calm mind can you see life for what it is and respond wisely. The calm mind is a fortress of freedom. It allows you to observe life's challenges without being swept away by them. Picture standing in a long line when someone rudely cuts in front of you. Anger rises, but instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, does this really matter? Is it worth disturbing my peace? In this moment, your calm mind grants you the power to choose peace over conflict. So how can we cultivate this inner stillness? Begin with mindfulness. Spend a few minutes each day focusing on your breath or the sensations around you. When stress arises, pause and ask, will this issue matter in a year? Is it worth sacrificing my peace? Keep a journal, as Marcus Aurelius did, to reflect on what unsettles your mind and how you can handle it better. Most importantly, focus only on what you can control. Letting go of external chaos empowers you to direct your energy inward. A calm mind is not the absence of life's storms, but the ability to navigate them with grace. When you nurture inner stillness, you reclaim your strength, see the world clearly, and act with wisdom. You stop being a victim of your emotions and become the master of your own responses. Think back to the last time your emotions got the better of you. Would your actions have been different if your mind had been calm? What might you achieve in life if you could cultivate this clarity every day? Are you ready to begin the journey to a calmer, stronger mind? Lesson 3. Focus on what you can change. Life often feels like a constant battle against forces beyond our control. Traffic delays, unexpected setbacks, or the opinions of others can leave us feeling powerless and frustrated. Yet, the Stoics offer a liberating insight. Our power lies not in controlling the uncontrollable, but in focusing on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, captured this wisdom when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words are a reminder that the more energy we spend on things we cannot change, the more we drain ourselves. But when we redirect that energy toward what is within our control, we unlock a source of resilience and clarity. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. You can't control the cars around you, but you can control how you respond. Will you stew in frustration, honking and muttering complaints? Or will you use the time to breathe deeply, gather your thoughts, or plan how to make the most of the meeting once you arrive? The Stoic path encourages the latter, channeling energy into actions and attitudes that truly make a difference. Epictetus, another great Stoic, emphasized this principle. It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By focusing on what you can change, you free yourself from the futile struggle against reality and embrace a sense of calm agency. So how do we put this into practice? Start by separating concerns into two categories: what you can and can't control. If you cannot control it, like other people's opinions or past mistakes, let it go. Instead, focus on areas where your actions matter: your effort, your preparation, your perspective. In moments of stress, pause and ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Even small steps, like responding with kindness instead of anger, or adjusting your own expectations, can create meaningful change. Focusing on what you can change doesn't mean ignoring challenges or giving up. It means approaching them with wisdom. It's about shifting your perspective from victimhood to empowerment, from reacting to acting. When you concentrate on what lies within your sphere of influence, you gain clarity, reduce anxiety, and find purpose even in difficult circumstances. Think about a moment when you wasted time and energy worrying about something you couldn't control. How much lighter would your burdens feel if you had redirected that energy into positive action? What would your life look like if you fully embraced this Stoic principle and focused only on what you can change? The choice is yours. Are you ready to make it? Lesson 4. Gratitude and embracing the present moment. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase more success, more possessions, more recognition, it's easy to overlook the value of what we already have. We scroll through social media, compare our lives to others, and convince ourselves that happiness lies somewhere just out of reach. But the Stoics teach us a powerful truth. The key to contentment is not in striving for what we don't have, but in appreciating what we do. Gratitude anchors us in the present moment and opens the door to genuine fulfillment. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, "You have everything you need to be happy right now." Remember how many of the things you now have were once among the things you only hoped for. These words urge us to pause and reflect on the blessings surrounding us. From the roof over our heads to the kindness of a friend or the warmth of sunlight on our skin, life is full of gifts we often take for granted. Gratitude reclaims those moments, helping us recognize their worth and savor their richness. When we fail to practice gratitude, we fall into the trap of endless pursuit. No matter how much we achieve, it never feels like enough. Instead of cherishing what we have, we dwell on what's missing, creating a perpetual cycle of dissatisfaction. Epictetus warned us of this danger. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When we constantly seek what we lack, we tie our happiness to external circumstances, fleeting and uncontrollable. Gratitude, on the other hand, shifts our focus inward to the abundance already within our grasp. Gratitude is inseparable from the present moment. To be truly grateful, you must be fully present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Imagine sitting with a loved one over a cup of coffee. Without presence, your mind might wander, thinking about tomorrow's tasks or replaying yesterday's conversations. But when you focus on the moment, gratitude blooms. You notice the warmth of their smile, the richness of the coffee's aroma, and the connection you share. This fleeting moment, fully embraced, becomes a treasure. To cultivate gratitude, start with small reflections. At the end of each day, think of 3 things you're grateful for: a kind word, a simple meal, or just the fact that you made it through another day. Write them down to reinforce the habit. Practice mindfulness, engaging fully with your surroundings. Savor the sound of birdsong, the feeling of sunlight, or the taste of your favorite dish. Reframe challenges by seeing them as opportunities to grow. As Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Gratitude turns even hardship into a teacher. The transformative power of gratitude lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require more effort, money, or time, only a shift in perspective. Imagine how your life might change if you began each morning by reflecting on one thing you're grateful for. Perhaps it's the comfort of your bed, the excitement of a new day, or the people who support you. This small act sets a positive tone, framing your day in abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what's good, even amidst imperfection. The Stoics understood that this mindset doesn't just make life more bearable, it makes it more meaningful. So, take a moment now. Look around you. What do you already have that once seemed unattainable? Who or what brings joy to your life that you may have overlooked? What will you choose to be grateful for today? So Lesson 5, the Art of Nonreaction, choosing peace over chaos. Life has a way of testing us. A rude comment, a heated disagreement, or an unexpected setback can ignite a spark of anger or frustration, tempting us to react impulsively. Yet the Stoics teach us a timeless principle. True strength lies not in reacting to every provocation, but in mastering the art of non-reaction. By choosing calm over chaos, we reclaim our inner peace and respond to life with wisdom and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminds us in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words echo a profound truth. External events don't disturb us. It's our response to them that determines our peace. When we learn to pause, to step back, and to choose non-reaction, we protect ourselves from unnecessary turmoil and create space for thoughtful, deliberate action. Imagine being interrupted in a meeting by someone trying to assert their dominance. The immediate reaction might be to snap back, to assert yourself just as loudly. But the Stoic approach would guide you to pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, does this moment deserve my energy? Instead of escalating the tension, your calm response not only preserves your dignity, but often shifts the dynamic, leaving the instigator unsettled by your composure. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom encourages us to see provocations not as personal affronts, but as opportunities to practice self-control. The world will always present challenges and triggers, but how we respond is entirely within our control. Non-reaction is not about passivity or weakness. It's about choosing a measured, thoughtful approach that aligns with your values and preserves your mental clarity. When we react impulsively to life's provocations, we hand over our peace to external forces. A rude driver, a critical co-worker, or an unexpected delay can ruin our day, not because of the event itself, but because we allow it to. This constant reactivity exhausts us, drains our energy, and pulls us into conflicts that rarely yield anything positive. The Stoics understood this danger and emphasized the importance of restraint. Silence is a great weapon in moments of conflict, Seneca observed. By refusing to engage in petty disputes or arguments, we conserve our energy for what truly matters. When we let go of the need to react to every slight or inconvenience, we free ourselves from the chaos of the external world. Non-reaction is not about suppressing emotions or ignoring problems. It's about responding with intention rather than reflex. In moments of provocation, taking a deep breath and pausing allows your rational mind time to catch up with your emotions, enabling you to choose your response wisely. Reframing the situation helps too. Is this worth my energy? Will this matter a year from now? Most provocations are temporary and insignificant. By seeing the bigger picture, you can let go of what doesn't serve you. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. A calm silence can disarm an instigator and protect your peace. As the Stoics teach, your silence often speaks louder than words. Focusing on what you can control is another cornerstone of this philosophy. You can't control the actions of others, but you can control your reaction. By maintaining your composure, you take back your power and influence how situations unfold. Every provocation becomes an opportunity to practice self-control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In this light, difficult moments transform into exercises that strengthen your inner resolve. When you master the art of non-reaction, you experience a profound sense of freedom. No longer at the mercy of external triggers or other people's behavior, you become the master of your emotions. This clarity and restraint protect your energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Imagine how your relationships might change if you practiced non-reaction. Conflicts could dissolve before they escalate, and your calm demeanor would inspire respect from others. In your personal life, non-reaction creates space for deeper reflection and intentional action. You become someone who moves through the world with grace and purpose, unshaken by its storms. Think back to the last time you reacted impulsively. How might the outcome have changed if you had chosen non-reaction instead? What possibilities could open in your life if you prioritized peace over reactivity? The choice is yours. Are you ready to reclaim your calm? Lesson 6. Letting go to create space. The power of acceptance. Life often feels like a relentless tug-of-war between what we want to happen and what actually unfolds. We meticulously plan, set expectations, and try to control every outcome, only to find ourselves frustrated and defeated when reality refuses to comply. But the Stoics remind us of a liberating truth. Peace comes not from tightening our grip, but from letting go and creating space for life to unfold naturally. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wisely observed, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well." This profound insight speaks to the essence of Stoicism. Acceptance is not weakness. It is wisdom. Letting go of the need to micromanage every detail frees us from unnecessary stress and opens the door to opportunities we may never have considered. Picture this. You've planned the perfect day, a picnic in the park filled with sunshine, good company, and laughter. But as the day unfolds, the skies darken and rain begins to pour. Disappointment threatens to ruin the experience. But here lies a choice. You could sulk, lamenting how the weather has disrupted your plans. Or you could adapt, find joy in a cozy indoor picnic, and transform what might have been a frustrating day into a cherished memory. This act of letting go demonstrates the quiet power of acceptance, turning resistance into possibility and disappointment into contentment. When we cling too tightly to our expectations, we unknowingly set ourselves up for disappointment. Life is inherently unpredictable, filled with twists and turns beyond our control. The harder we try to force things to go our way, the more resistance we create, leaving us exhausted and disheartened. Seneca captured this perfectly when he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor." Similarly, it is not life's changes that trouble us, but our resistance to them. By insisting that everything conform to our plans, we create tension where there could be freedom. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about embracing flexibility, allowing us to move with life's currents rather than fighting against them. Letting go creates space for growth, for creativity, and for life to surprise us. The Stoics understood that when we stop clinging to rigid expectations, we begin to notice possibilities that were hidden by our preoccupation with control. Imagine the freedom of being able to accept what comes your way, to reframe setbacks as redirections. When plans fall apart, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What new opportunities might this situation offer? Such a mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones and challenges into chances for growth. This principle aligns with Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom. Be content with what you are and wish not to be otherwise. Practicing effort without attachment allows us to give our best to every task while releasing the need for a specific outcome. When we detach from results, we gain clarity, act with purpose, and free ourselves from the stress of perfectionism. Life's unpredictability, once a source of fear, becomes a source of wonder. By embracing uncertainty, we learn to see it as an adventure, a chance to experience the unexpected joys and lessons that life offers. Simplifying expectations is another way to cultivate peace. Complexity often breeds stress, while simplicity leaves room for life's surprises. Sometimes, the most beautiful moments arise when we least expect them. By letting go of rigid plans, we open ourselves to the serendipity of the present moment. The freedom found in letting go is transformative. When we stop wasting energy on battles we cannot win, we reclaim our power to live fully in the present. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring, it means we care wisely, directing our energy where it truly counts. Imagine how much lighter life would feel if you released the burden of over-control. Relationships would flourish as you stop trying to change others and embrace them as they are. Challenges would seem less overwhelming as you adapted with grace instead of resisting. Most importantly, you would create space in your mind and heart for joy, creativity, and personal growth. The Stoics believed that letting go isn't just about avoiding stress, it's about embracing life as it is. When we release our grip on how things should be, we open ourselves to the beauty of what is. Every moment becomes an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to appreciate the world exactly as it unfolds. Think about the last time you clung to a plan or expectation, only to be disappointed. How might the outcome have changed if you had let go and embraced the situation as it unfolded? What could you gain by creating space in your life for acceptance and possibility? The choice to let go is yours. Are you ready to make it? Lesson 7. Effort without attachment, the freedom to act with purpose. In our pursuit of success, we often tie our happiness to outcomes. We set goals, pour our energy into achieving them, and pin our satisfaction on the results. But what happens when those results don't align with our expectations? Disappointment creeps in and all our effort feels wasted. The Stoics, however, offer a liberating perspective. True fulfillment comes not from clinging to outcomes, but from focusing on the effort itself. When we release our attachment to results, we free ourselves to act with clarity, purpose, and peace. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, captured this wisdom perfectly in his Meditations. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. This timeless advice teaches us to focus on the present moment, on what we can control right now, rather than obsessing over results that lie beyond our reach. Imagine a gardener tending to a plant. They water it, nurture its soil, and ensure it gets sunlight. But the gardener cannot force the plant to bloom. The effort is theirs to give, but the outcome is beyond their control. This is the essence of effort without attachment, pouring your energy into what you can do while letting go of the need to control what happens next. When we attach too tightly to results, we create unnecessary stress. Every twist or setback feels like a personal failure, and we find ourselves stuck in a loop of frustration and self-doubt. But the Stoics remind us that the outcomes of our actions are rarely within our control. What we can control is the quality of our effort, the dedication we bring to the task, and the integrity with which we act. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This mindset empowers us to focus on the process rather than the destination, finding satisfaction in knowing we gave our best. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals. It means you care deeply about the actions you take to achieve them, but you don't let the uncertainty of results dictate your peace of mind. Picture preparing for an important job interview. You research the company, practice your answers, and arrive prepared and confident. Whether or not you get the job is beyond your control. The success lies not in the outcome, but in the effort you invested, knowing you gave it your all. This principle applies to every aspect of life. In relationships, focusing on being present and supportive creates a stronger bond than obsessing over whether your efforts will always be reciprocated. In creative pursuits, enjoying the act of creation, writing, painting, or building, brings fulfillment regardless of whether others applaud the final product. And in personal growth, valuing the small daily steps forward fosters resilience and progress without the pressure of immediate perfection. To practice effort without attachment, start by focusing on what you can control. Break down your goals into actionable steps and give each step your full attention. Remind yourself that the outcome, whether favorable or not, doesn't diminish the value of your work. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be content with what you are and wish not to be otherwise." This contentment is not complacency. It's a recognition that your worth lies in your effort, not in external validation. Another powerful tool is reframing failure. When results don't go as planned, see it not as a defeat, but as a lesson. What can you learn? How can you adapt? Failure, when viewed through the lens of effort without attachment, becomes a stepping stone rather than an obstacle. It teaches you to grow without losing faith in your ability to try again. Embracing this mindset also liberates you from the fear of judgment. When you're no longer fixated on how others perceive your results, you're free to act authentically. You can approach each challenge with confidence, knowing that your effort reflects your character, not the approval of others. The beauty of effort, without attachment, is that it transforms how you experience life. Instead of living in a constant state of anxiety about what's next, you find joy in the moment, in the doing. You become more present, more intentional, and more resilient. Imagine the freedom of waking up each day focused on what you can give rather than worrying about what you'll get in return. How much lighter would your life feel? The Stoics believed that true strength lies in this balance, caring deeply about what you do while remaining detached from how it unfolds. It's a way of living that combines purpose with peace, allowing you to act with passion without being weighed down by expectations. Think about the last time you worked tirelessly towards something only to feel crushed when it didn't go as planned. What might have changed if you had focused on the effort itself rather than the result? How might your perspective shift if you viewed success as giving your best, regardless of the outcome? The choice to embrace this freedom is yours. Are you ready to take it? Lesson 8. Flowing with life, the power of harmony and adaptability. Life is anything but predictable. It flows like a river, sometimes calm and serene, other times turbulent and wild. Yet, how often do we find ourselves resisting this natural flow, clinging to rigid plans or expectations, and becoming frustrated when life takes an unexpected turn? The Stoics teach us that true peace doesn't come from trying to control the river, but from learning to flow with it. When we align ourselves with life's rhythms, embracing its changes with grace, we discover the power of harmony and adaptability. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, captured this wisdom in his meditations. Adapt yourself to the things with which your lot has been cast. Love sincerely the people with whom destiny has surrounded you. This is an invitation to embrace life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Instead of resisting what we cannot change, the Stoics encourage us to work with life's currents, finding strength and freedom in adaptability. Imagine you've planned a long-awaited vacation. The itinerary is set, reservations are made, and excitement is high. But as the journey begins, a series of delays and mishaps threaten to derail your plans. Flights are cancelled, weather doesn't cooperate, and frustrations mount. You could cling to your original expectations, letting disappointment ruin your trip, or you could adapt. Find joy in the unexpected, explore a new city during a layover, or savor a quiet moment while waiting for the rain to pass. By flowing with life's changes, what could have been a ruined trip transforms into a meaningful adventure. The Stoics understood that resisting life's changes only leads to unnecessary suffering. Seneca wrote, "A happy life is one that is in harmony with its nature." This harmony doesn't mean passive acceptance of everything that happens. It means actively engaging with life's challenges while remaining flexible and open to new possibilities. Like a tree bending in the wind, adaptability allows us to weather life's storms without breaking. When we insist on rigid control, we create unnecessary tension. Life's unpredictability becomes a source of stress rather than an opportunity for growth. Yet, when we embrace uncertainty and align ourselves with the flow of events, we open the door to resilience and creativity. Flowing with life doesn't mean we stop striving or caring. It means we approach each moment with curiosity and flexibility, ready to adjust our course as needed. Practicing harmony with life begins with accepting what we cannot control. The words of Epictetus ring true. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Rather than lamenting circumstances beyond our influence, we can focus on what we can change: our mindset, our actions, and our willingness to adapt. This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. It also helps to see life's twists and turns as part of a larger picture. What feels like a setback in the moment may later reveal itself as a necessary step toward something better. When plans fall apart, ask yourself, what does this moment offer me? How can I adapt to make the most of it? Each disruption becomes a chance to practice resilience and to find beauty in the unexpected. This mindset extends to our relationships as well. People, like life, are unpredictable. Rather than trying to mold others to fit our expectations, we can embrace them as they are, with their strengths and flaws. By flowing with the dynamics of relationships, we create space for connection and understanding, deepening bonds and reducing conflict. In every area of life, harmony with the flow brings freedom. It frees us from the weight of unmet expectations and the frustration of failed plans. It allows us to live fully in the present, appreciating each moment for what it is rather than what we hoped it would be. Imagine how different your life could feel if you stopped resisting change and started embracing it. How much lighter would your burdens become if you saw every challenge as a chance to grow? The Stoics believed that adaptability is one of life's greatest strengths. Marcus Aurelius reflected, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." By learning to flow with life's changes, we transform obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into stepping stones. Think back to a time when life didn't go as planned. Did you resist the change, or did you adapt? How might things have unfolded differently if you had chosen to flow with the moment instead of fighting against it? The choice to embrace life's rhythm is yours. Are you ready to flow with it? Lesson 9. The strength within, building an unshakable inner core. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, we search for something steady to anchor us, a source of strength that remains unshaken by external events. The Stoics teach us that this stability doesn't come from material possessions, the approval of others, or even the circumstances we find ourselves in. True strength lies within, in the cultivation of an unshakable inner core rooted in virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, captured this idea beautifully in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words remind us that while we cannot control the chaos around us, we can always control how we respond. By grounding ourselves in principles like courage, integrity, and reason, we build an inner fortress that no external storm can penetrate. Imagine facing a difficult challenge, perhaps a personal failure, a harsh critique, or an unexpected loss. In such moments, it's tempting to let frustration, anger, or despair take over. But the Stoics invite us to pause and ask, what does this moment demand of me? How can I respond in a way that reflects my values? Instead of being swayed by emotions or external pressures, you draw on your inner core to act with clarity and purpose. Epictetus taught that the foundation of strength is recognizing what is truly within our control, our thoughts, actions, and choices. He wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending life is easy. It means facing challenges with courage, making decisions with integrity, and staying true to your values even when the world around you feels uncertain. Cultivating an unshakable inner core begins with identifying the values that matter most to you. For the Stoics, virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance were the cornerstones of a good life. These values act as a compass, guiding your decisions and actions regardless of external circumstances. When faced with adversity, the question is not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values?" This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and character development. Building this inner strength also requires self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Take time each day to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Are they aligned with your values? Have you acted with integrity, courage, and wisdom? This practice of introspection helps you identify areas for improvement and reinforces your commitment to living authentically. Another pillar of inner strength is resilience, the ability to remain steady in the face of difficulty. The Stoics understood that life is filled with obstacles, but they saw these obstacles as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge you face is a chance to practice resilience, to strengthen your inner core, and to grow into a better version of yourself. Imagine how your relationships, your work, and your daily life might change if you approached every situation from a place of inner strength. Criticism would no longer sting as deeply because your sense of worth wouldn't rely on others' opinions. Failures would feel less devastating because you'd see them as lessons, not reflections of your value. Successes would feel more fulfilling because they'd be achieved on your own terms, in alignment with your principles. The beauty of an unshakable inner core is that it frees you from the chaos of the external world. You no longer need to chase validation or fear setbacks because your strength comes from within. You become someone who moves through life with confidence and purpose, unshaken by the storms around you. Think back to a time when you felt overwhelmed or defeated. How might things have been different if you had relied on your inner core for guidance? What would it feel like to face life's challenges with unshakable strength, knowing that your peace and purpose come from within? The path to this strength begins with a choice. Are you ready to build your inner fortress? Lesson 10. The strength within, building an unshakable inner core. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, we search for something steady to anchor us, a source of strength that remains unshaken by external events. The Stoics teach us that this stability doesn't come from material possessions, the approval of others, or even the circumstances we find ourselves in. True strength lies within, in the cultivation of an unshakable inner core rooted in virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, captured this idea beautifully in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words remind us that while we cannot control the chaos around us, we can always control how we respond. By grounding ourselves in principles like courage, integrity, and reason, we build an inner fortress that no external storm can penetrate. Imagine facing a difficult challenge, perhaps a personal failure, a harsh critique, or an unexpected loss. In such moments, it's tempting to let frustration, anger, or despair take over. But the Stoics invite us to pause and ask, what does this moment demand of me? How can I respond in a way that reflects my values? Instead of being swayed by emotions or external pressures, you draw on your inner core to act with clarity and purpose. Epictetus taught that the foundation of strength is recognizing what is truly within our control, our thoughts, actions, and choices. He wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending life is easy. It means facing challenges with courage, making decisions with integrity, and staying true to your values even when the world around you feels uncertain. Cultivating an unshakable inner core begins with identifying the values that matter most to you. For the Stoics, virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance were the cornerstones of a good life. These values act as a compass, guiding your decisions and actions regardless of external circumstances. When faced with adversity, the question is not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values?" This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and character development. Building this inner strength also requires self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Take time each day to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Are they aligned with your values? Have you acted with integrity, courage, and wisdom? This practice of introspection helps you identify areas for improvement and reinforces your commitment to living authentically. Another pillar of inner strength is resilience, the ability to remain steady in the face of difficulty. The Stoics understood that life is filled with obstacles, but they saw these obstacles as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge you face is a chance to practice resilience, to strengthen your inner core, and to grow into a better version of yourself. Imagine how your relationships, your work, and your daily life might change if you approached every situation from a place of inner strength. Criticism would no longer sting as deeply because your sense of worth wouldn't rely on others' opinions. Failures would feel less devastating because you'd see them as lessons, not reflections of your value. Successes would feel more fulfilling because they'd be achieved on your own terms, in alignment with your principles. The beauty of an unshakable inner core is that it frees you from the chaos of the external world. You no longer need to chase validation or fear setbacks because your strength comes from within. You become someone who moves through life with confidence and purpose, unshaken by the storms around you. Think back to a time when you felt overwhelmed or defeated. How might things have been different if you had relied on your inner core for guidance? What would it feel like to face life's challenges with unshakable strength, knowing that your peace and purpose come from within? The path to this strength begins with a choice. Are you ready to build your inner fortress? Life has a way of pulling us in every direction, worrying about the future, dwelling on the past, or endlessly chasing goals that seem just out of reach. In the midst of this constant motion, we often miss the one thing that truly matters: the present moment. The Stoics remind us that life unfolds only in the here and now, and by embracing this moment fully, we unlock the peace and clarity that come from truly being present. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." These words carry a timeless truth. The present moment is all we ever truly have. By learning to live in it, we free ourselves from the chains of regret and anxiety, finding fulfillment in the beauty of what is, rather than worrying about what was or what might be. Imagine sitting with a loved one, sharing a simple meal or a quiet conversation. If your mind is elsewhere, replaying a stressful event or planning tomorrow's to-do list, you miss the magic of that connection. But when you focus fully on the moment, you notice the warmth in their smile, the sound of their laughter, and the comfort of their presence. What was once ordinary becomes extraordinary when seen through the lens of mindfulness. The Stoics understood that living in the present is not about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about choosing not to let them dominate your thoughts. Seneca observed, "What is the use of dragging up sufferings which are over, of being miserable now because you were miserable then? Dwelling on past pain only multiplies its weight, and fearing future challenges often makes them feel larger than they are. By focusing on the now, we reclaim our energy and direct it toward what truly matters. Living in the moment doesn't mean we stop planning or striving. It means we approach each action with intention and presence, giving our full attention to the task at hand. Whether it's a work project, a conversation, or a simple walk in nature, being fully present allows us to engage deeply and find satisfaction in the process, rather than fixating on the outcome. Practicing presence begins with awareness. Notice when your thoughts drift to the past or the future, and gently bring them back to the present. A helpful tool is mindfulness, pausing to focus on your breath, the sensations around you, or the task in front of you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't a call to fear mortality, but a gentle nudge to appreciate the gift of each moment, knowing that it is fleeting and precious. Another way to cultivate presence is by embracing gratitude. When you focus on what you have right now, a friend's kindness, the comfort of a sunny day, or the satisfaction of a job well done, you ground yourself in the present and deepen your connection to life. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into treasures, helping you see the abundance that surrounds you. Living in the present also means letting go of distractions that pull you away from it. This might involve setting boundaries with technology, saying no to commitments that overburden you, or carving out quiet moments for reflection. By simplifying your life, you create space to be fully here, fully alive. The beauty of embracing the present moment is that it enriches every area of your life. Relationships grow stronger as you become more attentive and engaged. Work becomes more meaningful as you immerse yourself in the process rather than worrying about the result. Even challenges become opportunities to practice resilience and grace as you focus on what you can do now rather than being overwhelmed by what lies ahead. Imagine how your life might change if you lived each day with presence. What if you paused to savor your morning coffee instead of rushing through it, or took the time to really listen when someone spoke? How much more joy, connection, and peace might you discover by simply being here now? The Stoics believed that living in the moment is the key to a fulfilled life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the present moment is all you ever have. Make it your constant focus. By embracing this truth, we free ourselves from the weight of yesterday and the uncertainty of tomorrow, finding contentment in the simple act of living. Think about a recent moment when you were distracted, worrying about the past or the future. How might that moment have been different if you had been fully present? What possibilities might open in your life if you chose to live with intention, grounded in the here and now? The choice to embrace the present is yours. Are you ready to live fully, starting now? Lesson 11. Freeing yourself from unrealistic expectations, finding peace in acceptance. We all carry expectations. We expect others to act a certain way, events to unfold according to our plans, and life to meet our ideals. Yet, time and time again, reality falls short, leaving us frustrated, hurt, or disappointed. The Stoics teach us a liberating truth. Peace begins when we release unrealistic expectations and embrace life as it is. By reducing the gap between what we hope for and what truly happens, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and discover contentment. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "It's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." This insight speaks directly to the nature of expectations. When we impose rigid demands on people, situations, or even ourselves, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life is unpredictable, people are imperfect, and plans often go astray. Learning to adjust our expectations or let them go entirely allows us to approach life with grace and resilience. Imagine hosting a dinner party. You've spent hours preparing, envisioning a perfect evening where everything goes smoothly. But, as the night unfolds, a guest arrives late, another spills wine on the tablecloth, and the main dish doesn't turn out as you hoped. If you cling to your ideal of perfection, these small mishaps feel like disasters. But if you let go of rigid expectations, you might laugh at the chaos, enjoy the spontaneity, and find joy in the company of your friends. Letting go transforms what could have been a stressful experience into a delightful memory. Seneca observed, "Expecting nothing and enjoying everything is the path to freedom." This doesn't mean giving up on goals or standards, it means approaching life with flexibility. When we stop demanding perfection, we open ourselves to appreciating what is, flaws and all. Instead of seeing unmet expectations as failures, we can see them as reminders to adjust our perspective and focus on what truly matters. Unrealistic expectations often extend to the people in our lives. We may expect loved ones to understand us perfectly, co-workers to always meet deadlines, or strangers to treat us with respect. Yet, people are human, with their own flaws, limitations, and struggles. Holding on to idealized versions of how others should act only creates tension and resentment. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to accept people as they are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, 'Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot distinguish good from evil.' By preparing for imperfection, we reduce our frustration and cultivate understanding. This principle also applies to how we view ourselves. Unrealistic expectations often manifest as self-criticism or the relentless pursuit of perfection. We push ourselves to achieve more, do better, and be flawless, only to feel inadequate when we fall short. But the Stoics remind us that self-acceptance is not complacency. It's the foundation for growth. Recognize your efforts, learn from your mistakes, and strive for progress rather than perfection. Epictetus advises, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This grounded approach allows us to pursue excellence without being burdened by impossible standards. Reducing expectations doesn't mean lowering your ambitions or giving up hope. It means freeing yourself from the unnecessary weight of rigid demands. When plans don't go as intended, ask yourself, is this truly worth my peace of mind? What can I appreciate in this moment instead? By focusing on gratitude and adaptability, you shift your attention from what's missing to what's present, finding fulfillment in the imperfect reality before you. The practice of adjusting expectations can also deepen your relationships. When you let go of the need for others to behave exactly as you wish, you create space for empathy and connection. You begin to appreciate people for who they are, rather than who you want them to be. This perspective fosters harmony and reduces conflict as you stop resisting their individuality and start celebrating it. Imagine how your life might change if you released unrealistic expectations. How much lighter would your burdens feel if you embraced life's imperfections and focused on what's within your control? Challenges would become less daunting, relationships more meaningful, and each day richer with possibility. The Stoics believe that by aligning our expectations with reality, we unlock the door to true freedom. As Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." This power comes from letting go, not of our dreams or aspirations, but of the rigid beliefs that prevent us from appreciating life as it unfolds. Think back to a time when an unmet expectation caused you stress or disappointment. What might have changed if you had adjusted your perspective and embraced the situation as it was? What could you gain by letting go of the need for perfection and choosing to accept the imperfect beauty of life? The choice to free yourself from unrealistic expectations is yours. Are you ready to make it? Lesson 12. The freedom in letting go, releasing what holds you back. We often hold on tightly to the things we believe define us: our plans, relationships, possessions, and even our expectations. The more we cling, the more we tie our happiness and identity to them, fearing what might happen if they slip away. Yet, the Stoics remind us of a liberating truth. Freedom is found not in grasping, but in letting go. By releasing the need to control or hold on to everything, we create space for peace, growth, and unexpected possibilities. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, captured this wisdom when he said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This isn't a rejection of ambition or achievement, but an invitation to reassess what truly matters. Clinging too tightly to external things, whether they are material goods, relationships, or outcomes, can trap us in a cycle of fear and dissatisfaction. When we let go, we free ourselves from this weight, allowing life to flow naturally. Imagine a time when something didn't go as planned. Perhaps it was a project at work, a relationship that ended, or a goal you didn't achieve. The more you fixated on what could have been, the more you felt stuck, unable to move forward, consumed by what was lost. But what if, instead of clinging to what didn't happen, you let go? By accepting the situation and embracing the present, you create room for new opportunities to emerge. What once felt like failure becomes a stepping stone to growth. The Stoics understood that the root of much suffering is our attachment to things beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." Life is ever-changing, and trying to hold on to the impermanent is like trying to grasp water. It slips through your fingers no matter how tightly you hold on. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about finding the strength to adapt and the clarity to focus on what truly matters. When you release attachment, you begin to see life in a new way. Challenges no longer feel like personal failures, but natural parts of the journey. Relationships become richer because they are based on mutual respect and freedom, not control or dependence. Even the things you own feel less like burdens and more like tools to support your well-being, because your sense of self is no longer tied to them. Letting go doesn't mean indifference, it means choosing where to invest your energy wisely. Take the example of a friend who drifts away over time. Clinging to the past, replaying what went wrong, or trying to force the connection to remain the same can lead to frustration. But letting go doesn't erase the good memories or the value of that friendship. Instead, It allows you to honor what was while making room for new connections to flourish. To practice letting go, start by reflecting on what truly lies within your control. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Focus on your actions, your values, and your mindset. When you encounter situations that don't align with your expectations, pause and ask, is holding on to this serving me, or is it weighing me down? Often, the act of releasing what you cannot change brings a sense of relief and clarity. Another way to let go is by practicing gratitude for what you have right now. When you appreciate the present moment, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's abundant. Gratitude helps you release the fear of loss because you recognize that each moment is a gift, not a guarantee. Letting go also means embracing the uncertainty of life. As Seneca observed, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. How much time do we spend worrying about things we cannot control, clinging to ideals that no longer serve us? By releasing this need for certainty, we free ourselves to fully experience the richness of life's unpredictability. The freedom found in letting go is transformative. Imagine the weight that lifts when you stop trying to control every outcome, when you no longer tie your happiness to what others think, or when you let go of the fear of change. Your energy becomes available for what truly matters: building meaningful relationships, pursuing passions, and savoring the present moment. The Stoics believed that letting go was a path to true inner peace. Marcus Aurelius urged us to love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony. By aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, we stop resisting and start thriving. Think about something you're holding on to right now, a plan, a regret, or a fear. What would it feel like to let it go? How might your life change if you created space for new opportunities, for growth, and for peace? The freedom to let go is within your reach. Are you ready to embrace it? Life is too short to be weighed down by what you can't control. By embracing these Stoic lessons, you can find clarity, peace, and the freedom to live fully in the present. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful insights. Until next time, keep calm, let go, and live intentionally.